I've been doing a lot of thinking about existence as of late. I used to think a lot about this whole like ego, persona, personality, identity, body, meat suit, this avatar that we move around that connects us to the physical world, right? So the Carla, I used to think a lot about that. And I thought that that was what each and every one of us was in essence, was, you know, realizing and expressing, that personality or that persona. And I've learned through the years that that's just the suit. And I don't mean just, I mean it's an important aspect because it's an aspect of what we truly are. It's a way to express it. It's a way to experience the world in a unique way, you know, different than the the Gary or the Larry or the Jill, the Jack. The Carla is a unique expression of that, but it's not who we are, right at the core, right at like our soul, our essence, right? And so all of those different things are made up, like all of our, my Carla is made up of my experience, and it's a different flavor. I have a different flavor than other people. It's made up of the environment I grew up in and that I continue to engage with. It's made up of thoughts that I believe, beliefs and opinions and constructs and all this myriad of things from the substrate that is life, that is the material world that already exists, that I have decided on some level to put together to be me. And that's malleable. And this is the next level, is that people realize that it can be changed and there is a growth in character. I'm a character in a story, just as all the characters are in my stories. And the growth happens because of choice or circumstance. But the wisdom that comes from allowance, that bubbles up from just a presence and a state of being. So without getting too far into that, what I wanted to, the notion I wanted to just kind of play with this morning was about these couple of lines that came to me, and they're in relation to how, like, why we live this life, why we experience the things that we experience. Like, what is the point of playing in this game, and what is the point of playing this role, of character in these stories? And I'm not going to get too far into that quite, like, to answer that in particular, like that question in particular. But I do want to talk about, in, I guess, maybe poetic terms, why we encounter other people as well in our lives, and why it's that we're drawn to certain people, and those, and what does that do for us to be in relationship and connection with others. And it's really because we're learning, and it's not even learning, we're remembering, we're realizing, we are allowing for the wisdom, for the, for the experience of these big T truths that everybody comes to. And when they do, or can come to, I guess, everybody knows on some level. It's just that through life, we're sort of uncovering that as we go. It's like the golden Buddha, and it's inside this concrete. And with every, when we get really curious about it, we want to chip away so that we can actually see, the gold inside, like what we truly, truly are. Not the costume that we wear or the character that we play, but what we truly are. And that's kind of a huge and like overwhelming sometimes concept. But nevertheless, so what how I see relationship and the experience in our world, why our story is so important, and why interpreting that, and allowing the memory, of who we are to come forth. It's much different than, setting out a plot, that is created because of something else we thought or believed in the past, because all we're going to do is create the same story. It's boring. Have you read the same trope over and over again? I mean, the trope itself, right? Like, let's say enemies to lovers. The trope itself, we might love that trope. And we might want to read stories again and again and again and again about enemies to lovers. I love that trope. Yet it's got different actors, different characters, different beings that intersect, and it's a different scenario and a different environment, and so they're placed in these, and they have different challenges, right? So all of those details are different, but the whole, you come to the same. I don't know if it's a truth when you talk about a trope of enemies to lovers, but they come together, right, in the end. And it's the same thing with like the truths that we come to when we put this different configuration of story and of people and plots and events and all that stuff. And it's great fun to learn through that, but you're learning the same thing. So let's say we have a relationship. You are in a playground. You're playing with love, or even just living itself. You are playing with life, what it means to live through your individual character, through your individual set of, unique genius, like your set of skills and talents, and yeah, what your character, your particular character, how they would behave, and how you choose to play them. There's everything about choice in this. So it's been really fun, creating this world and all of these people, and the connections they have and the disconnections they have, and how they intersect and why and what they learned from it. And really all of those lessons are come to these really basic lessons. It could be like the relationship happens because, they want to experience loss on a different level. The soul is experiencing loss or grief or war, because war leads them to this desire to connect. The disconnection leads to the suffering, and the connection, leads to peace, because all sides realize they are one, they are the same. So all of those big ideas and concepts and like nuances. But there are a couple that are also, and not but, and there are also a handful that are like at the core of all of it, which is life itself, I suppose. Like, so I was just thinking about my life. Okay, I'm going to give you an example. And I wake up, I honestly, every single day, I say, I love my life. I love where I live. I love everything. I love it. And even if it is so hard and I don't live this charmed, untouched life, I think it's because I don't and I haven't, that I love life so much. And so here's my playground, and it's what I wrote in my notes this morning was that I love life. Oh wait, my my phone just went to sleep just as I was looking at it. So I love life and I love my life. So I love life, okay? All like just life itself. And I love my life, right? My life in particular. Because it's through my life in particular that I get to play and experience with the like life itself. It's through my life that I experience life. Yes? And I love my life through my life, which is what I just said. So I love life and I love my life in particular. And I love life through my life. I get to experience life through living mine. Does that make sense? So here's like, and here's love. Here's love. I love love, and I love you. So there's a you here. I love another. I love my children, my husband, my parents, my extended family, my friends, my, whoever that might be, right? I love you, right? And I love experience. Oh, sorry. And I experience love through loving you. So here we have this big, 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 big. I keep using the word concept. It's absolutely not a concept. It is an energy. It's a way. It's energy. Love. It is source, creative source, I suppose. It's more than Valentine's Day cards and candy hearts. I think I talked about this one time before, and that's all good. It's all good. It's a way. It's symbolism. It's like shared experience. It's a way to express, all that stuff. But it's not. It's just like on the fringe. This is not what I mean by love. I'm talking big L love. So I like love. Okay, so I experience. I understand. I marinate in love, right? And I love you. So that means that there is this other that I can experience love with. So I experience love through loving you. So it is, again, relationships are this playground to experience these bigger things. Yeah. So I love, I love you, and I experience love through loving you. And yeah, so I'm going to tootle off now and do some writing about those very things, and not just the concept like I was unpacking here, but through these stories of life and love, and how each and every one of them is unique, yet leading back to life lessons, love lessons, lessons in love, lessons in life. I actually have a chapter that I wrote in book one called, I think it's called, now I'm forgetting as I'm telling you, Lessons with Shiraz. Lessons of Love, I think. And Shiraz and Kilo are young, walking through the trees, brother and sister, and they're talking about love. So, anyway, yeah, I love love. I love you. And I experience love through loving you.